All right, so today we're going to explore a completely different way to think about building a learning habit. It's not about forcing yourself with more discipline. It's actually something much, much simpler and way more powerful.
So think back to the last time you got really excited about learning something new. Maybe it was a new language or picking up an instrument. You were probably super motivated, right? You made this perfect plan, you set a schedule, and you thought, okay, this is it. This time, I'm really going to do it. And then, well, you know what happens. Life gets in the way. That big burst of energy just kind of fades. You miss one day, then another, and before you know it, that exciting new habit is just a memory. It's such a frustrating cycle, isn't it?
But here's what I really want you to hear. This is not a personal failure. It's not that you're lazy or that you lack motivation. The real problem is that we set ourselves up to fail from the very beginning by chasing this crazy idea of perfection. We think we have to be perfect from day one.
So the real secret is to just flip that script entirely. It's not about how much time you put in, it's about the patience you have with yourself during the process. It's about building a rhythm that feels soft and steady and, most importantly, real.
So how do we actually do that? Well, the very first step is to completely rethink the size of our goals. We all fall into this trap, right? We aim for these huge, impressive goals, like I'm going to study for 2 hours every single day. But that just feels so heavy. It's overwhelming before you even start. The solution? Shrink the goal. Make it so tiny, like just 10 minutes, that it feels light and almost ridiculous not to do.
Because when your goal is that small, you get past the hardest part, which is just starting. And once you start, you create momentum. It's that amazing feeling where the task just starts to carry itself forward. And what's funny is, those 10 minutes, they often turn into 15 or 20, not because you're forcing it, but because you actually want to.
You can think of it like watering a plant. You wouldn't drown it in water once a month, right? No, you give it a little bit of water every day. And it's that small, consistent effort that leads to this steady, beautiful growth over time.
Okay, so we've got the start small part down. That's key. But what you do in those small chunks of time is just as important. It's not just about practicing new stuff, it's about how you review.
Reviewing is so crucial, because without it, any new information is just temporary. It's like your brain needs you to prove that a memory is important enough to keep. And looking back regularly is exactly how you send that signal.
And there's this simple but incredibly powerful way to do it. It's called spaced repetition. You're not cramming everything at once, you're just strategically reminding your brain right at the moment it's about to forget. Each little review makes that memory stronger and more permanent.
This is exactly why those long, stressful cramming sessions just don't work. Your brain gets completely saturated. It feels totally full, like a sponge that just can't absorb one more drop. Short, focused reviews, so much more effective. Seriously, 5 minutes of clear, focused attention can beat an hour of stressed-out studying any day.
Okay, so we're starting small and we're reviewing smart. Now let's talk about how to weave this new habit into your actual life so it starts to feel totally automatic.
The trick is to link your new learning habit to something you already do every single day without even thinking about it. This is called habit stacking. So, are you making coffee? Play a short podcast. Are you walking to work? Flip through a few flashcards. See? You're not trying to find new time in your day. You're just transforming the time you already have.
And when you do this consistently, something really cool starts to happen. Your habit starts to feel like something more. It becomes a ritual. And a ritual isn't a chore you have to check off a list. It's a moment in your day that you approach with care, something you might actually start to look forward to.
And that leads us to what is maybe the most important mindset shift of all. It's learning to fall in love with the daily actions themselves, not just the final goal.
Chasing a result is like standing at the bottom of a huge hill and just staring at the top. It feels impossibly far away, and that just leads to frustration. But when you focus on the process, when you just enjoy each step of the walk, you make steady progress without even realizing it. And then one day you look up and you're amazed at how far you've come.
Ultimately, this is what keeps you going. Discipline can get you started for sure, but joy is the fuel for the long haul. When you actually feel a connection to what you're learning, it stops feeling like work. Enthusiasm and curiosity are way more powerful than pure willpower.
Now for the final and I think most liberating piece of this whole puzzle. What happens when you have an off day? Because you will. Everyone does. And that's completely okay. When you miss a day, the absolute worst thing you can do is beat yourself up about it. Guilt is this heavy, useless emotion that just makes it harder to start again. It whispers in your ear that you've failed, that you've broken your streak, and that's just not true. Okay, this right here is the single most important idea in this entire explainer. Really let this one sink in. Real consistency is not about being perfect. It is not an unbroken chain. It is simply the art of coming back, again and again, especially after you've taken a break.
So let's just reframe this right now. A missed day is not a failure. It's a rest. It's a sign that you needed a break. Your brain was probably processing things in the background anyway, so be gentle with yourself. Forgive yourself instantly, and just begin again tomorrow. That is what true consistency looks like.
So I'll leave you with this question. Not some grand, complicated plan. Not a huge commitment. Just this. What is one small, light, easy rhythm that you can start tomorrow? Because that's where the whole journey begins.